Hello there and welcome to Team Fortress TV. Thank you for joining us. We are back. We have some playoffs. This is ETF2L Season 26. Main season concluded last Sunday and we have the upper bracket round 1 on our plate this evening. It's going to be Arctic Foxes versus nerdRage. But my name is Frysk and Peter will be joining me on the mic. We have WARHURYEAH as well, perhaps, giving us some analysis. Perhaps at the end of these maps, and of course we have Gemm on camera this evening. Peter, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you, and I'm looking forward to these games. We're finally in the playoffs. It's been a long season. There's been a lot of changes to a lot of teams. Some teams didn't even make it to the end, but these are the final teams, and these two teams have been very stable throughout the entire season, I feel like, and as such, I think this should be a very good game. These teams have played once before, obviously, and that was a really close game. On one map more than the other, but overall, I'm really super excited for this map, this match, and these two teams. I like them both, so I hope you agree with me on that one.
Yeah, I absolutely do. I think both these teams are super good, and as you said, last time these teams met, it was a close game, and I think both these teams have improved a whole lot this season. You know, nerdRage definitely very impressive, finishing at the top of the table, or close to the top of the table, and Arctic Foxes as well, having a pretty strong season too. So, I mean, we're in for some good maps of Team Fortress 2, Peter.
Yeah, the number 2 seed nerdRage versus the number 3 seed Arctic Foxes. So let's go through the rosters here, and of course, the winner of this match will move on to the upper bracket, where they will be facing 7 for the winner bracket final. And the losers will go down into the lower bracket, where they will be facing off against, I believe, Low Panda. All right, but going through the rosters real quick, let's start with our Arctic Foxes. On the team, we have Raptor on Medic. We have Adam Rasek, or Adam Racecar, as I think everyone has come to call him, on Demo Man. We have DD5F and his shovel on Roamer. Feeling on Pocket, and then Marosh and Shocky on Scout. And Marosh is standing in for Sikas, whose computer is still just not existent, apparently. So that's a shame.
Yeah, he hasn't been playing he didn't play the last couple of weeks of the season, and I mean, who knows if that might impact their success in the playoffs. But just bringing down the nerdRage roster, Ombrak playing Medic. We got Namtak on Demoman, Blitzo. I believe he plays Pocket, Korvac playing Roamer, Blade, and Neo on Scout. So really strong lineup there for nerdRage. All of them really have had a pretty terrific season, and I'm excited really to see more scouts here, more Blade and Neo action. I think I've really admired the scout play from them this season, especially Neo. So it'll be interesting to see if Marash and Shocky have what it takes.
Yeah, indeed. The two very interesting ones. I will actually be looking much more eagerly at the soldier matchup. That's kind of what I'm all hyped about, because Feeling and Medico have both had a really good season, and they're both really similar in their playstyle. And they're just these heavy pockets that run shotgun, and they just hit everything. And they're just a force of nature. And then both roamers are also really good. I think Korvac is the more solid roamer, whereas DD5F is more flashy. So that's kind of a different way of playing, but overall, I feel like the soldiers have been the bright spots for both of these teams. So that's what I'm hyped about overall.
Yeah, I think you could just point to any head-to-head here on these stats, and I mean, the players are so evenly matched. You know, I mean, going down anybody, and I'm just gonna mention the demo man. You know, Adam Racecar and Namtak. I mean, I think they're so evenly matched. I know Adam Racecar. He he has I really like his demo man play, but you know, Namtak as well. I mean, they're both just so solid. So I mean, as you said, you know, could come down to the soldiers being the ones to make the plays, open some space for their team. But yeah, I mean, certainly an exciting prospect seeing these teams in playoffs.
Yeah, and Adam Racecar is a new addition to the Prem experience so far this season. You know, I think this is his first season in Prem. I could be wrong, but I don't think he has like even merged to other teams. He might have played like a game or two, but either way, he's new to Prem, and he's been definitely making waves. You can see that he takes up quite a few less heals than Namtek does. So Namtek plays a little bit closer, but it's not like he gets a whole lot of more kills and damage for it. So like that's pretty impressive to me. I don't know, this guy's stats overall just looks better. But they both pretty low death demo men, and they both do pretty equal amounts of damage and work for their teams. But
Namtek seems to take a little bit more heals than Adam Rasek, and maybe it's a little bit of a bit not a huge difference, but that could maybe impact their team. Of course, we Korvac and Neo obviously just powerhouses in terms of DM on that team, but I think Namtek, he does play a really solid demo man and certainly is able to follow up on damage a lot of the time. So, yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on Namtek.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. Namtek definitely have the more experience, and overall, I think that's it's going to be a pattern. Is that just the not top five, like top five Rocket or nerdRage? They've just been together for so long with basically the same roster. I think Blitzo is the only person that's not playing with them anymore. Of course, we have Blade instead, but like that's basically the only change up in the lineup. Right, so that's really impressive. So they've been playing together for a very long time, and they have more experience, I feel like, too. So it's kind of a newcomers versus a team that's not quite a newcomer anymore, but they fought their way up from the bottom pretty much. Like I feel like they're just a mid team, and then they just fought their way up into high, and then eventually Prem, and now they're second in Prem. They're kind of the new Lego. As far like at least in my mind, that it's the same kind of feeling you get. Just this team of friends that just stick together for so long that they just eventually end up being really, really good.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think Top 5 Rocket, they're a really unique team in that sense, and they're all French, so they perhaps that helps them out, that synergy of being all from the same country. I'm sure they all common French, so maybe they have I don't know, they bond a little bit more. Maybe they can just maybe they don't tilt as much, but I mean that remains to be seen in these games. But right now, looks like we have some medic head-to-heads, and Peter, I mean, jumping out to me is this Uber's to drop ratio of Umbra.
Oh, yeah. That's really low. That's actually very impressive. How do you get that many?
I'm not sure, but actually, another stat that's caught my eye there is just the crits here from Raptor. I mean, 180 crits is. I'm not even sure if that's correct. Surely 180 crits that doesn't sound right, but I mean, I suppose I think Raptor. I haven't really noticed a whole lot of crits from him, but I mean, maybe he's the type of medic that will not be afraid to really switch it up and try these crits miniguns.
Yeah, he's been mixing it up quite a bit. He's been running quite a lot of Vaccinator. We actually saw 2 matches in a row where he went Vaccinator and then just got stuck on it, where his flank kept dying and then he just stayed alive, and then he got pushed back and couldn't move forward, and then they just eventually kept losing with the Vaccinator even though the medic never died. So you can definitely get stuck on the Vaccinator. So he's gonna have to be careful not to do that again. It's a mistake he's done twice in a row now in 2 separate matches. So hopefully he learned from that, but we'll see. Let's try to move on to the maps here. So I don't think there's too much more to talk about. Like basically, I think Ombreg is the main caller, but that's not too much. So right off the bat, we can see the map bans here, and last time these 2 teams played, it was on Reckoner, and I think I don't remember the other map, but either way, top 5 Rockets, as they were called back then, won Reckoner decisively, and I think they also played Process, and they won that one 2-1. So that was really close. But Arctic Foxes, they didn't like getting beaten on Reckoner that much, so they banned Reckoner, and then yeah, take it from here.
Yeah, I mean, the Reckoner ban. I think the last time Top 5 Rocket played this or played Reckoner, I'm not sure. I think they played Lopander actually, and they might still have that awful image of that Mookie heavy to mid in their brain. They don't want to even play it anymore. But I mean, we do have Snake, Gully, and Process. I think, Peter, I'd say these are the top 3 maps. You ask any player, certainly favorite maps for a lot of people. But we will be starting with Snakewater. I mean, what are your thoughts on Snakewater? What type of map is it? How is it supposed to be played? And is there any team you think, between these 2 teams, do you think might have a little bit of an edge?
It's one of the longer maps. Like like on second is very open, so it's very difficult for soldiers to make any kind of headway. It's very easy to get denied and duped around it and use Ubers aggressively. So it's definitely a long map that tends to favor scouts more, and I think that will favor Arctic Foxes a little bit. I think the scout combo is probably stronger, and just the way their team plays, they tend to play a little bit more loose. So I do think Nerd have had pretty good results on Snakewater this season. So it's definitely going to be close, but you know, your scouts, how well they do is usually what decides this map. So that's definitely something to look out for. So that's what you were interested in, and that's probably also what I should have been interested in while I was busy talking about how good all the soldiers were.
Yeah, well, I mean, can't really let the soldiers to Snakewater. I think I've certainly seen quite a few stalemate maps of Snakewater, and I think soldiers, of course, is just the class to break that kind of thing. We could see Korvac just make some amazing plays, try and force a medic or something like that, and I think nerdRage might have the advantage on the soldiers.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I played against Top 5 Rocket quite a bit on this map, and that was basically the same team. And the way they play middle is super hard to deal with, where they just bomb in both soldiers at the same time, and then the rest of the team follow over. They have this down to a science, and it's kind of how they play all mids, but on Snakewater in particular, it feels especially strong. And Medico and Korvac, they don't tend to miss a whole lot. So those rockets, you're just gonna have to pray that you can dodge them properly, because if not, you're gonna be in a world of hurt. And it's just super intimidating to actually play against. I guess another thing to note when we're talking about soldiers is DD5F. And Snakewater, as far as Market Gardener goes, it's actually a really good Market Gardener map. There's a lot of places where you can do a bunch of skip jumps and have a ton of speed, and they don't hear you coming, and then you just get that easy kill before they can react. So, we can probably see a couple of those plays sprinkled in. It's really good for last suicides as well. So, a lot of opportunities here for DD5F to do his thing.
Yeah, I really love casting Arctic Fox's games. They got that DD5F, the shovel at completely random times, just catches everybody off guard. And yeah, that shovel, I mean, it's something you just can't rule out, A lot of people think, oh, it's the Market Gardener, it's not going to really impact the game too much, but, it could. Like, he's definitely this season had some pretty good moments when he just takes the shovel. But I suppose, the soldiers of nerdRage, it could give them an upper hand on mids, do you think, Peter?
Yeah, that's definitely my going theory. I think that's going to be something that's going to be very difficult for Arctic Foxes to deal with. So I looked like we're about to go live here. They're definitely saying go in chat. So would you care to give me a prediction, and then I can give mine?
I think this will be very close. I'm going to call it 3-2 to nerdRage.
Oh man, that was exactly what I was going to say. So I will just go with, it's going to be 3-3, and then in Golden Cap nerdRage will take it. So
the Golden Cap, that'll be interesting.
So either way, we're very close here. But yeah, I guess I should talk about, I'm a huge Shocky fanboy. So I'm hoping he just jumps around and does a whole bunch of cool stuff. It's it's so awesome to see him still in the game. He's been in the game for so long, and there was a time when Shocky was just a force to be reckoned with, where he was just the ultimate scout power in the universe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not so much the case anymore.
Yeah, he used to be one of the best scouts in Europe, and I think, he still is. I mean, Arctic Foxes, he's been doing pretty well, and he's certainly going to want to continue that performance on Scout this game. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this first mid to see what nerdRage have up their sleeve, if they're going to try anything. I mean, a lot of people say nerdRage, are a very aggressive team. Omrak has said in interviews that they're not really. They just kind of take advantage of any sort of mistakes of the other team, just use their advantages correctly. But obviously at mid, that's a sort of a different dynamic to the rest of the map. So, I mean, give us a prediction for the first mid. Who do you think is going to take this, Peter?
Well, I'll just keep saying the same thing I've been saying the entire time. I think nerdRage is going to get it the first time. They're going to do a double soldier bomb, and then they're going to walk over the point and decimate the rest of Arctic Foxes. So
yeah.
we'll see.
We are on server, and both teams have readied up. If you're just joining us, this is ETF2L Season 26 Playoffs Upper Bracket Round 1. We got nerdRage versus Arctic Foxes on our first map, Snakewater. Peter takes to this first mid fight.
as we are waiting for both demos now to come to mid. So far, it seems like they are completely even, and no one has eaten anything. We see Korvac just guarding up top, eats a little bit of sticky, but both teams just waiting. And here comes the first sorter bomb in. Very aggressive. Blade almost getting taken down here. And actually, DD5F doing a lot of damage. And so far, my double sorter bomb has not come to fruition. And now it's actually Arctic Fox just pushing across the point, and nerdRage will just retreat out there. That earlier sorter bomb from DD5F didn't get dealt with fast enough. Blade was missing quite a bit, and so was the soldier standing up there with him. And they will be pushed all the way back to last here, nerdRage.
Studio was a really good first mid fight there for Arctic Foxes, and they're going to perhaps be able to take us in. I mean, Umbrak was able to escape, so we'll see equal Uber surges, and we don't see any sort of off classes or anything like that from Arctic Foxes. I don't think they lost 1 or 2 players at mid, so I think they have a bit of time here to think about what they want to do. I mean, Peter, how would you go about this equal Uber push into last?
Well, it looks like I don't have to speculate since they've actually gone sniper. I think Maris ran back and switched in forward spawn with the DD5F when he spawned. So it's going to be a sniper versus sniper. We see Blade on sniper. We didn't talk too much about sniper earlier before the game, but neither of these teams have two huge sniper players. I think Maris and Blade are the 2 sniper players that we'll see most of the time. Yeah. Neo can go sniper as well.
Yeah, it is Blade and Marash generally, and I think at least just there's like a comparison. I think I'd probably give it to Marash as the slightly better sniper, but Blade certainly is a decent sniper here. But I suppose Arctic Foxes are just going to wait for Marash to try and peek in here. He's looking at drop down at the moment, but I mean, it could be hard to get an angle here. nerdRage, they have a good setup here. Umbrak is holding kind of on the grass close to these entrances, and he'll be able to use his supercharges. Arctic Foxes might be able to use theirs.
DD5F almost picking off Blade here. Doesn't quite get him though, and then Arrow will make sure that Blade is now healthy. Maro's still at the drop down. He looks like he's gonna go for the hero play here. He's got a full buff. He's looking for it. Being kind of cheeky, but doesn't quite commit, and almost dies, but he survives. So
but Feeling wants to go in. He got Girardi, but he managed to get a nice rocket onto Umbrak, so we'll get that Uber charge forced, and Raptor will be able to just get out to second as they wait for this Uber charge to fade, and this is a really good opportunity beater here for Arctic Foxes.
Yeah, they had so much attention onto Blade shutting him down that the Feeling just saw his opportunity there. I don't think he planned to. Like, you normally don't send in your pocket, you send in your Roma, right? But, if the space is there, yeah, go for it, man. Feeling has actually gone Pyro. Okay, this is some special tactics for the playoffs if I've ever seen any. I'm not sure what the idea is. Maybe it's to push, to air blast in through the door, so you don't have to pop on entry. I'm not actually sure.
Well, they've got Shocky leading this charge, Feeling following up after, and he's trying to make his way off the point. They have the sentry gun on this left-hand side.
Just gonna run onto it and air blast.
Yeah,
but,
wow.
That didn't work at all. That failed completely. You still have DD5F going for the show. He gets him.
No.
What? Did he B-hop?
I think
did he get bounced?
I think he did. DD5F. Incredible.
Holy.
That's wonderful stuff from DD. Getting that shovel kill after that completely failed push. DD just saving that for them. Umbrak will be up. Wow, that took me up for 4 seconds, but that was incredible.
That was absolutely insane. I was watching him in third person, but I don't know. It looked like he hit the ground and then apparently B-hop. But yeah, we see a lot of pressure here on second point, and I think they're gonna be able to push nerdRage back to last. And Raptor is stuck on a slight Uber advantage, although it is a vaccinator that he's up against, so it's not quite as significant. Looks like Feeling was arrow building quite a bit here. Yeah, they are. So they've been building really, really heavily here. There's only 2 bubbles so far. They probably get up to 3, but it looks like they're just going to do a dot push either way. So let's see how that goes.
They're looking at the shutter door. Feeling might be the target of the Suber, and he has jumped in. He's got completely denied by that sentry gun, and Adam Rastak wants to get in as well, try and get some damage. Sentry gun will get picked up, but I mean, Umbrak has these bubbles, and the Uber has faded, and a lot of these players on Arctic Foxes have taken a lot of damage, so nerdRage again are going to be able to hold this.
Yeah, once again, a very solid hold. Raptor's the only person to go down here. So if nerdRage push out, they have to check every single corner because there's so many people that can try and sneak behind. But they have picked up the Roma and the Scout. So now it's just basically, as long as they know where Maris is, they should be golden. Where is Maris though? He's actually on last. But didn't quite make it in time.
Oh.
So almost went wrong there. But look like Maris is gonna fight Blade, but there's a soldier coming in behind him as well.
Yeah, Marsh, for the time being, has stayed alive. I mean, who knows? He might be able to continue to cause a distraction, but I think Arctic Foxes are just all the way back at mid, so I mean, Marsh might just... Well, he's not managed to pick up Blade, but they will trade, so we'll just delay that slightly for his team to think about what they want to do next.
Yeah, Umbrak with the fat Uber advantage. We have seen Raptor switch back to Uber, and oftentimes when you go in against these vaccinators, you know, they end up with a disadvantage when they switch away. But they either don't recognize it or they feel like they don't have enough of an advantage to use it. And they are even doing some arrow building here once again. So very diligent Uber building here. I like it. I don't know how often I've lost a round to just not building properly, but it definitely happens too much. And it looks like Arctic Foxes are not gonna, or they're gonna make it hard for nerdRage to actually push in time. So they're gonna send in double soldiers here. Like
Didi, he gets a really nice rocket there onto Umbrak getting that Uber charge. And Raptor was so far back that he will be able to hold this. And pretty much the same situation as he had a moment ago when they were on second, and they're going to be able to take in this counter Uber. Looks like Feeling is taking a lot of spam, but I mean, they have a lot of time here to do something, and they're still just looking to get in here through Saw, and I think that's Medico is taking a lot of damage. He might be able to get out, but no, he gets picked up there by Adam Rasek, and they will be able to force nerdRage out here, back surely to their last.
Yeah, Medico was playing very aggressively there. I think he was hoping to force the Uber, but I don't know, it didn't quite work. Feeling's gonna jump in very aggressively. He knocks the soldier off of the house, and the Uber has still not been forced. Now they're basically on the point. So this could be very hairy. As long as they get this scout off the point, yeah, there we go. Finally, after God knows how many attempts, they finally get all the way to nerdRage's last. All it took was some really nice Uber forces. They actually had a lot of success forcing the Uber there. So Umbrak's going to be pretty pissed, I think.
Yeah, that seemed to always favour Arctic Foxes. I think, you know, they capped mid, and for the rest of that round, it was really just all on second and last, and they just had so many tries to try and take that last point. But we get to our second mid, we see Demoman exchanging some stickies. Looks like Korvac might want to take some early aggression here, and he's actually getting onto Adam Rastek. Will he be able to connect the arrow or the rocket? But after he gets the arrow onto Korvac, and looks like DD5F is trying to find this medic, but he will have to pick up Medico, and there's Franks either way for each team. But I think it looks like Arctic Foxes might have better positioning, and nerdRage are just going to have to leave through Saw.
Yeah, and more importantly, they had 2 scouts and a medic, and that's basically the ultimate DM setup at the tail end of a mid-fight. They're going to be very aggressive here. Feeling has a full buff, and he's going to jump in very aggressively, try to box out nerdRage, and so far he's doing a really good job. No one else from Arctic Fox have actually walked in, so apparently that was just an attempt to make them force or something. I don't know, that was a bit confusing for me, but they decide to back off. Everyone survives, so no harm done, I guess. But now we're kind of stuck in this this very familiar situation.
Yeah, and you know, do you think it might be up to nerdRage to try something? Obviously, you know, generally you think Arctic Foxes would be the responsible ones for pushing into second, but I mean, nerdRage are going to have to try something new. You know, they've been holding on these second and last points, and so cost them the first round. I think it has come down to the DD5F or Feeling getting the Uber force out of Umbrak, so Umbrak may have to position himself slightly differently.
DD5F.
DD5F again, he flubbed the he just flubbed the rocket jump there on the fence, and he's gone down. So we'll have to see if nerdRage want to maybe try anything with this. And it looks like Medico wants to get in here through Soul. I think he might want to take the supercharge, but he may have thought better of it.
Yeah, it really looked like he was just trying to gain some space so someone else could jump in. You know, that's a pretty good way of going at it. And we actually see DD5F switching to Sniper, so they are content at just slowing it down. And you know, I like that decision here. I kind of expected them to send back Mara so he could go Sniper, but now we get to see what DD5F is made of on Sniper, so that should be interesting if nothing else. I don't remember seeing him play much Sniper. I've seen it like once. So Blade's actually very aggressively. He actually spotted the Sniper, so that's a pretty important spot right there.
Yeah, and Umbrak has been hit with the Girardi. I mean, we saw, I think, I'm not sure what week it was in the main season, but Umbrak did actually drop his overcharge to a coordinated Girardi play, so I mean, I don't think any soldier's in position to follow up on that, but DD, of course, surrounding the Sniper, I mean, Arctic Foxes, of course, are just going to have to wait for some kind of pick, and DD, you know, they know he's there, so they can position themselves accordingly, but he's getting a little bit of space here on this green grass area, and hasn't really seen any sort of line onto Umbrak, and that's the kind of pick he's looking for. I think even if they get maybe a Scout or a Soldier, it might not be enough because they still do have the Sniper, so he's really going to have to try and make this work.
Yeah, I don't think they're ever going to get the medic. I think right now they're just trying to go in through grass, basically. And then if they put enough bodies onto the... Oh, Feeling actually goes in for the suicide, and DD5 gets picked off as well. So that's all of a sudden looking very good for nerdRage. They do lose one person, but they're still one up. So they'll probably push, as the scout needs to look up. There we go, finally. And Analyst got being... No! He was being under so much pressure, but he drops the medic instead. That's a good way to relieve some pressure, that's for sure. And
Absolutely.
From a very good situation to all of a sudden a disastrous one. Just once again, Umbrak having a really bad game so far. Just getting forced left and right, and now he's also been dropped. So, very, very rough.
Yeah, and I was looking at Blade there, who was going through Soul. He was trying to get onto Adam Rasek and force the Uber charge, which I think he did end up doing, but yeah, that drop onto Umbrak is absolutely huge, and Raptor coming up on 95%. They're going to be able to take this in, and they have the time to not rush this. They can just walk the supercharge in and trying to get the sentry gun set up on the left, but it might not be enough. Umbrak has this vaccinator. I think he has 1 or 2 bubbles. I think he's out of bubbles at the moment now, but I mean, this heavy still is doing quite a lot of work. They kind of have to focus this, but Feeling's taking some positioning on this shack, and he's got a lot of damage here, but there's a couple of weak players in Arctic Foxes, and nerdRage looking like they've been able to hold this.
Yeah, once again, just the vaccinator heavy defense is so strong. And if you don't manage to focus down the flank fast enough, you just end up not being able to compete with the vaccinator. So you have to be very quick and get some very quick picks, and they got neither. But oh my god, look at that.
Wow.
Raptor gets taken down by Korvac. A great jump in there by him. It looked like Raptor was just not even thinking about that. So here comes the push out. They're still on the vaccinator. I think they're trying to gun for Raptor's medigun. I think they want to pick that one up, but they have actually retreated back here after losing Shocky.
Marsh is behind. I think he could have done something, but we'll get cleaned up, and this will give him some time here for Arctic Foxes maybe to get some positioning. DD5F is on Spy actually, and I think he might just want to go for the backup, but I think he has decided not, and he might be able to get a stab onto Umbrak. I mean, I think they know this is Spy, so DD waiting here on battlements at second. I think he could go for a backup or something, but I mean, Umbrak's still running Vaccinator, and I'm not sure if Arctic Foxes know that, but I mean, Raptor's gone underneath, they've gone through Kitchen, and I'm not sure if they've seen that. They've managed to pick up Blade, and I think they are aware of it now, so they are going to have to draw their solos back, and they're taking a lot of damage, and they have this ×4 on second. Medico is fighting Feeling, and he's just gone down, but they've got a lot of time on this point. Korvac and Cosmetic here trying to defend this. Neo picking up Raptor though, and a nice pipe from Namtak, and this play from Arctic Foxes hasn't gone so well. DD5F getting that stab. He's quite weak, but now they know there's a Spy. There's about 3 alive here, and Blade coming in as a spawner, and oh, Shocky again. Namtak had 2 nice pipes there during that fight.
Very nice pipes. It was a very interesting move there. I kind of like rotating around to focus on the flank, because the flank was always be weak, as the Spy gets spotted there, accidentally runs in front of Namtak, so that gets called out and dealt with. Still on the Vaccinator. Like the goal is still to kill the enemy medic so they can pick up his medigun. Let's see here. Feeling's gonna die here. Yeah, nice jump in from Namtek, but actually it gets taken down by an arrow, and then Maros finishes him off. So all of a sudden, that turned around pretty drastically. As looks like Medico just jumps in there, does a ton of damage.
Yeah, that was really good from Medico, and Shocky's just trying to do something here on this point. Looks like I think that's G wants to get in onto Umbrak. He's going to do one good rocket, but will get picked up there from Neo, and that's really good here from nerdRage. He's actually able to keep Umbrak alive, and I think Umbrak is running a Medigun again, so this is probably the first opportunity nerdRage have had here, pushing into last.
Yep, manages to acquire a Medigun. As they can definitely build Uber here, but as we've seen, there's definitely going to be a Vaccinator from Raptor, and there's going to be a heavy. So far they've been going in through their own right side, quite a lot through the shutter door, and so far that has not really worked out. So maybe they need to switch it up. Maybe they need to just Uber in some different classes. I'm not quite sure if there's an easy answer here, but they definitely need to think about this. It looks like they're going to go in through the left side, going to jump in a soldier very aggressively and just pop on entrance. So that's very interesting. So the Vaccinator has not even been forced at all, and so far this looking like a very shady push.
Yeah, they haven't lost anybody, but they haven't really done enough damage, and I think a couple of the nerdRage players are weak enough that this could go badly here. Korvac falling quite weak, Namtak trying to get in, but will be denied by this heavy, and that's a really good hold here from Arctic Foxes. They didn't lose anybody. They had an engineer and a sniper swap over back to scout, and they had all their players on the left side of their point, and it looks like nerdRage just weren't able to get any position during that uber charge, so here they go again. I think Umbrak still has an advantage, so they're going to try this again.
Yeah, this is the kind of the interesting situation that often happens where you move in with the Uber against the vaccinator and then you go back out and then you count on them switching and then you just dot push and then you have a massive advantage.
I don't put the core back spy.
So he should even be able to check the medigun and actually see that they have the advantage, but they haven't pushed on it. So I guess they didn't realize it. I really think people need to be. I don't know. I don't see the disadvantage of actually dot pushing after you fail an Uber push against a vaccinator, because if they change, they have a massive disadvantage, and if they don't, you're just Ubering in against the vaccinator. So that's the same deal. So I really think the team need to do that more. But either way,
I think they actually did see Korvac. I think they are spy checking. Yeah, Shocky's come out on the pyro. I think they are aware of the spy now, so this is going to be much harder for Korvac. He hasn't been seen.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Shocky's surely going to get this kill here. I mean, Korvac, I suppose, was spy the right play beater. Umbrak did have the advantage, so I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah, I'm being very critical here. It's a pattern I've spotted, and now it makes me crazy when other people don't seem to have spotted it. But there's another soldier in onto the medic here. Umbrak once again getting popped, and DD5F just has done such a great job this game, along with healing. He's just popping out these Ubers constantly. Medic was actually in on last. He's pressing out of the demo really well here. There's even a scout in, and Ubers have been forced out for both teams here, but the backup has been dealt with, and now this should be a pretty easy push out here. Korvac putting up as much resistance as he possibly can, but yeah, he's eventually going to have to get out here.
Yeah, and Arctic Fox is with a good post-Uber fight there. There was two players behind from nerdRage to pick them up, so they will have the space to get in on second pretty easily. But I mean, more or less equal Ubers. I think Umbrak is spawned again on Uber charge, so a pretty even state for both teams, and I think Arctic Fox is definitely just going to build this Uber charge. They have a small advantage, may not be aware of it or want to push on it, so you may see another bit of a stalemate here, Beater.
Yeah, pushing from middle or from second to middle is kind of possible. It's a lot easier than pushing from middle to second.
But the Uber charge actually, and Namtak is he's got the taste for blood here, and he's got the force out of Umbrak, and Neo will actually get picked up there from Shocky. And this Uber is fading here for nerdRage, and it looks like kind of scattered, but I mean,
Umbrak going down to healing, so now the heal advantage is on the side of Arctic Foxes, and it looks like that's going to be enough here. Medico's behind lines, but he's been spotted here by Adam, and he takes him down. So Neo's just hiding in spawn.
Namtak has actually could have the drop here, but oh no, he was spotted. I thought could have maybe got a few stickies on the point to pick up Raptor, but getting cleaned up there. And Adam Rasek is already spawn camping, but there is a sniper in for his spawn. Now he's decided to swap back to last. So here we go again with Arctic Foxes. They have a nice Uber advantage here to potentially take into last.
Can they finally make it happen? We've seen so many failed pushes. See Blade on Engineer this time, not heavy. Maybe that's going to bite them in the ass and not enable them to go in here. We actually don't have a vaccinator this time around, so this is just a proper Uber advantage. It's almost interesting, right? As War is being rude in chat. Nice. And yeah, let's see where they go. They might go left again. Let's hope they don't pop on entrance. That didn't work last time. Yep, they have gone in and they have not popped yet. As so far they've done a really good job, and now they're edging the point, and now the Uber finally gets popped. But Umbrak does get his Uber in time, and DD5F gets dropped from the Uber right here. So this is looking like a very solid push already, or a hold. Sorry. So yeah, they did it better than last time, that's for sure. And if they just go outside and manage to aero build, then they can be ahead. But there's still a ton of pressure they have to deal with first.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like nerdRage wanted to try and push out. There's a lot of weak players, and I think they may have too much damage to try and push out to second. I think they have kind of repositioned themselves here on the side of Arctic Foxes. It's like, oh, Neo, nice headshot there, coming out of DD5F, picking up Neo, who's trying to kind of peek there. And I think Namtak may get caught out here. He's just lower, but he's going to get almost killed by Korvac, who was trying to defend his man. But it looks like they will just play this point. There's a little bit of time here. Adam Rasek just walking forward, and he gets two nice stickies there, and it's Ombrak and Blade, and what can they do? Nothing, as they pick up a second round beater.
Once again, just the ability to force Ombrak into a bad position where he has to pop and get forced, like that's been kind of the defining factor so far of this game. I was expecting the top 5 Rocket Soldiers to really shine, but yeah, so far it's definitely been Feeling and DD5F that's been the driving forces in this game. Let's see if what the nerdRage does on this mid. Cormax has jumped behind very quickly, but DD5F jumps in, demolishes Blade. That was Feeling actually, and here comes DD5F, takes down the medic. And this is once again another good mid as
oh, but Korvac, 2 really nice rockets. He gets a nice little air shot there onto Raptor at the end of that fight, and that's the only saving grace. But yeah, you're right, the soldiers of Arctic Fox is just amazing, that mid, but that was a nice little play there to get the medic. So I mean, they wiped them, so Adam Rasek is in lobby trying to see if they have any offcasses or anything like that, any sort of defenses yet. But
will we see a crit streak? Actually, a Vaccinator on offense. That's very interesting. I guess I like it. I don't know. I don't mind this at all. It's pretty interesting. It's very rare to see, and like this would often be an obvious crits advantage situation, but they decided to go with the Vaccinator instead. So they're probably just gonna go in through the left side and just try to abuse the fact that they have these bubbles to just get in for free, and then put time on the point and just pop bubbles on the point, and stickies will do nothing. But let's see how they play this. That's just my guesses.
yeah, they have both the sodas of Arctic Foxes on this left side, and they just jumped Blade and Korvac. Korvac forming very weak, backing out to spawn, so they have that one pick to work with, and they have 4 bubbles. They're going to have to try and use these correctly, as Ombrak takes a lot of damage, and he will use that Uber charge. But these bubbles will allow them to kind of get out of here. But as they say that, Raph didn't have a bubble on himself, so he will get picked up there from Neo.
Ombrak once again getting taken down by DD5F. So it looked like a really bad push.
Oh wow, Adam Rasek is walking in there from Shutter, and he just was able to clean up those frags. So, I mean, wow, they almost nearly didn't get that, but they were able to make it work in the end, and that's another round here. The gap is widening here, Beater, and nerdRage, you're going to have to do something soon.
Yeah, this is shocking to me. I definitely thought nerdRage had the advantage here, but so far just an amazing performance from nerdRage. Sorry, from Arctic Foxes. Last mid was just crushing. Let's see if they can do the same thing. Feeling doing the exact same jump. He's behind them now. DD5F jumped in.
Drive-by.
Poor Neo, man.
Direct. Yeah, that was incredible. And Ombrak might be caught out here. Yes, he will actually from the Soldier of Feeling. And this is another just incredible mid from Arctic Foxes and nerdRage. Just don't even know what hit them. And Blade will try and get out here, and he will get to safety.
Neo is getting so crushed on these mid. Last time he just got picked out of the air by Feeling as he just like skip jumped in. This time around he's like, nope, no, I'm just gonna avoid Feeling. And then as he's looking at Feeling, DD5 just comes in and crushes him again. So a rough game for sure. So DD5 is he gone Spy?
Yeah, we do see GD on Spy. I think he may be checking though.
Yeah, why would he go Spy?
Yeah,
right?
because Raptor of course does have this this Uber charge, and I mean 6 minutes left. This is, I mean, nerdRage definitely gonna be feeling
I don't
the
think
pressure.
they're gonna push.
Oh, say it ain't so, Beater. Say it ain't so.
I don't know, this is probably smart, especially considering just how bad these last pushes have been for both teams. So they're just not gonna go here, and this is definitely a pretty smart thing as Neo gets taken down once again by DD5F. Poor guy. And there's a scout fighting Medico. Medico's gone very far forward. That's gonna pull people back as DD5F gets another kill here. So Namtak avenges him finally. But this is definitely a sketchy push out here, but Shocky gets dealt with, so now there should be no one back there as Hombek is on the Vaccinator. You're just going to keep pushing, I think.
Oh, Adam Rasek with a nice pipe there. Namtak was able to get the force out of Raptor, and this is Meiko who is going to try and be chasing this frag onto Raptor, but he will be cleaned up again by Adam Rasek, and this after this post-Uber fight is looking pretty good here. I think Ombrak may be able to escape, but I mean there's still a fight going on, and there's a lot of scattered players, so many weak players. Ombrak is so weak, he's going to go down. Neo managed to escape on 50 health as Arctic Foxes, all of them are alive, and this is going to be really hard for nerdRage to do anything. It's just 2 alive, it's just Namtak. We do see some spawners that the soldiers kind of do anything. They're trying to get this damage on the point, and they've done okay, but Warback won't be enough, and 4-0 Beater.
4-0. That's an incredible performance so far. Just, I do think it was a very good decision to just not push on that Uber advantage. They were one player down, so it was going to be very difficult to actually get a good, proper, high advantage push going on. And they just forced out nerdRage to push on it, and they just played it to perfection there. So once again, now it's still possible. It's going to require 5 1-minute rounds, or just 4, I guess. But it's still doable. Let's see, we see a very aggressive jump in there from a soldier, feeling stuck in the skybox, but he survives it. The Shocky will take down Blade, but immediately traded on by Neo. Korvak's still behind. He's looking for his opportunity here. I think this is it. Everyone's coming in from the front, and Medico has taken down Adam Rasek. And now there's 2 players behind, and nerdRage, they're going to be looking everywhere as the soldier bombs in. That was kind of uncoordinated.
Yeah, they could have had Feeling going with that as well, but I'm not even sure if they know Feeling was there. He could go for this block on mid. Neo is the only one capping. Feeling, he's taking a bit of time. I'm not sure if that's the play he wants to make, but I mean, nerdRage meanwhile have gotten to second, and I mean it's not the best situation. They do have equal Uber charges. They're gonna have to have a good Uber charge here onto last. I mean, 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes left. This could be dead time here, Peter.
Yeah, nerdRage, they're just gonna push in here. Like they know they have to go, right? If they want any chances. That was a complete disaster. Zombek was gonna go like, nope, I can't be asked here. Just gonna drop it.
Yeah, full
Everyone
wipe here
dead
from nerdRage, and that is just so unfortunate. There, they have to do something. You could just tell they were feeling that time pressure, and you know they just ended up not being able to do anything. They do have the spawners on mid, so Artifox is making their way in here as well. Maybe nerdRage might be able to do something. Maybe get a round or 2 in these 3 minutes, trying to have the bit of the mental win. 4-2, of course, better than 4-0, but I mean, not looking so good. I mean, this is a pretty even fight right now. Neo getting Shocky, so Korvak is behind. Adam Rasek might be caught out here. He's getting jumped here from Korvak. He's a nice surf, and he's somehow still avoiding all this damage, and he managed to pick up Korvak, but in the end, DD, Raptor, and Marash, no one's alive. Marash is the spawner, but Raptor and DD go for a strange little play here on this health pack, who just kind of camped this, and they might be able to pick up these scouts. It's in Soldier's strong point, just in these close range areas, and Neo trying to give him the jukes, but he will pick that up. Raptor getting the Uber still, just prolonging his Uber, and Namtak alone on second, trying to do something with the shovel from DD5L. Good to see, and yeah, 2 alive here. Medico and Korvak won't really be able to do anything. Medico's trying to take this fight against Shocky and so, and I think, Peter, we have entered dead time.
Yeah, pretty much. At this point, I still feel like nerdRage, they really want a round here, just to kind of for themselves, you know, just to kill the momentum of Arctic Foxes. Because if you just lose and then getting 0 rounds, that's gonna be really really crushing for you.
I think we could get WARHURYEAH in here, this mastermind of Team Fortress 2, to give us the down low on what exactly happened this game. I'm not sure if WARHURYEAH is here, hearing us. Perhaps not.
Perhaps not. Either. So we have a big fight here. We've seen Raptor switch to Kritzkrieg to optimize DPM potential. So Medico goes down. Umbrak is in a very precarious situation. He goes down. And now just Blade on 3 HP finally goes down as well. Could this be 5-0? Looks like it's just going to be a complete crushing here. Just walking in.
It's Neo and Namtak right now. Namtak pretty weak. This has to be the 5th round. We have to close this out.
Yeah.
And they're just going to stand for it, and that will be it, folks. 5-0 on Snakewater. Peter, I didn't expect this at all.
Me neither. I expected nerdRage to be better, and I expected it to be close. Neither of those were the case. So, yeah, I am very, very surprised by that.
Yeah, we plan to have War to give us some analysis with his demo man brain, but appears he hasn't been hearing us, doesn't want to have any of it.
What?
War, hello, welcome.
What are you on about? I've been here the whole time.
Of course you were. I never said you were gone.
Did someone say my name when I wasn't here?
Yes, I think so.
Rubbish.
Yeah, we would like for you to show us some insights on what went on in this game and perhaps some creative dick drawings.
I would give you some pictures, but from what I was watching, there wasn't anything I could really point out too much, if I'm honest.
Alright.
Not in sort of like, that's picture worthy. There was obviously some notable sort of parts and outstanding performances by a few players, but I was very surprised about how quick that went.
Yeah,
I was
so
not
who stood
expecting a
out to you?
5-0. Well, I think overall, it wasn't necessarily just individual players, but Adam has been playing very, very well. Like earlier in the season, he wasn't really sort of being utilised in Arctic Foxes too much. I always found that they weren't really giving him so many heals. He wasn't really focused on many pushes, and it was just sort of like Feeling would take 50% of the heals and all that rubbish, and then it would just be Adam that would have to sort of maybe make a little appearance at the end. But overall, like, everything from them was very, very impressive. They all played like a really close formation as well. There wasn't any overextending or anything like that. It just seemed to be a lot more coordinated than the previous season. I'm pretty sure when these teams played as well earlier in the season, it was pretty good for nerdRage, was it not? Like, they won pretty comfortably, I seem to remember.
At least on Reckoner, it was not even close.
Yeah, so it's a kind of like a massive turnaround from the previous maps against these two, to be honest. So yeah.
And what do you think of the soldiers of Arctic Foxes? They had some pretty terrific mids.
Yeah, their mids were, like, I would have a picture for it, but it seemed a bit pointless just doing a picture for one scenario, but their mids were very, very well thought out. It wasn't necessarily the soldiers, but how they position themselves as they're going across, because most of the time it would be they just sort of send everybody forward, but I noticed that they had two scouts incredibly passive if there was someone behind. So as soon as they knew and it was called that Corback was going behind, both of their scouts just sort of slowly went across the point, but they weren't sort of overextending and pushing with the rest of the players. They were just sort of hanging behind them. So it was really good overall.
Yeah, very good team cohesion overall. Let's take a look at these logs, see if we can learn anything that we didn't know already. So it turns out Medico is actually really good at this game. He does a lot of damage, and so is Feeling. That was the matchup I was looking for, and they both lived up to it. Feeling with the better KD, obviously, but he was on the winning team, so maybe not the most telling stat right there. But as War pointed out, Adam Racecar with the 18 to 6 KD, that's very, very strong. Like that's when you know you're having a good game, when you're getting that kind of, like, a 4.5 KAD.
Yeah, and the scouts at nerdRage, not doing as well as maybe I would have expected them, but I think I just have in my mind DD5F, doing a pretty good job of forcing out the Ubers. I think Feeling as well, maybe once or twice, but Feeling was more of he plays pocket, so a little bit more passive. But DD did go for some of those bombs, and he was able to just almost immediately connect, a really good rocket onto Ombrak. And as a medic, once you've taken 100 damage, it's very risky not to pop the Uber charge. So they always had these really good, forces the forces out of Ombrak that just set them up for a really good repush.
Indeed. I'm actually kind of surprised at Ombrak's stats. I thought he would have a lot more deaths, like especially compared to Raptor, but I guess it was just mostly that he got forced and then they would lose the fight. Right? Yeah. So that doesn't really show up in the logs.
Another thing I actually should mention, I'm pretty sure I'm correct about this, is Snakewater was nerdRage's pick. So, that's adding insult to injury, really. They thought that would be a good map for them, but it wasn't even like they lost it maybe closely. It was, 5-0. It was not pretty, really, for nerdRage, so they're going to have to really dig deep and see what they can do on Gullywash, Peter.
Yeah, let's hope for their sake that all that experience that they have can actually just materialize itself here and give them strength, because right now they're in the gutter. Like, they're feeling really bad. Like, when you lose like this in a playoff series, you worked all season for this, like, this feels bad. So a measure of a good team is really, can they dig themselves out of this hole that they've kind of placed themselves in? And, I'd like to believe, but, some teams just don't have it in them, and maybe Arctic Foxes are just too strong for some reason all of a sudden. But either way, like, that's definitely going to be the question on my mind. Are they just looking hopeless, or are they actually putting up a fight here and able to edge their way back in the game?
I think, at least from the impression I get really from nerdRage, is that they're a resilient enough team. I think it's not like they're just throwing the towel in at this point. I think they are going to really try and take this map. This is going to be Arctic Fox's pick. They have picked Gullywash. But yeah, I mean, nerdRage, they're going to have to just forget about the first map, clear their heads, and just try and think about this this next as Gullywash. So, I mean, Peter, these mids might be the key. You know, last game we saw a lot of good mids from Arctic Foxes, and I mean, who knows? Arctic Foxes might not even be able to continue that. I think nerdRage, maybe they'll fight back. Maybe they'll be able to get some momentum going off a couple of good mid fights or something like that.
Yeah, Gullywash is like Gullywash's mid fight has been, I don't know, historically not the most impactful mid. So I don't know, like it's kind of hard. I don't see too many different strats on this middle. It's not like on Badlands where you can go different routes and stay under and then jump up at the same time. Like Gullywash has a little bit less of that. It seems like it has a lot more fluid mid. Oh, you know, maybe that's going to mean that Arctic Foxes can't just bomb in the soldiers the way that they've been doing. Maybe it means it's going to work just as well. It's I don't know, it's very hard for me to actually tell. I don't know. I don't feel like middle is very predictable on this map.
Yeah, well, we are going live soon. Peter, give us a prediction. Our predictions were completely wrong last time, but let's have another swing at it.
Yeah, I'm just I'm gonna be thinking that Arctic Foxes will be continuing the good feeling here. I think it might just be too much right now for nerdRage to come back from. It's just because of how they feel. So I'm gonna go with 5-2. I think gonna win comfortably 5-2. What about you?
I think I'm gonna keep with my boys, the Frenchies. I like nerdRage as a team. I'm gonna say 4-3. I think it could be drawn out. I think nerdRage could start some momentum early on in the game, and it could be a very close one. It could be a nail biter, Peter. But if you are just joining us, this is ETF2L Season 26 Playoffs Upper Bracket Round 1 nerdRage versus Arctic Foxes. Arctic Foxes took the first map, Snakewater 5-0. Here we go to our second map, Gullywash, first mid. As both teams trying to get some positioning on this point. Medico might be in a position to do something. He butts heads with Shocky, as Shocky takes a lot of damage. He will go down to a spam rocket, and that's the first pick.
And here comes Korvac.
Oh,
huge
nice
bombing. That's followed up by Medico as well. DD5 is caught in. Looks like he's going to be able to jump out, but a very strong mid right here for nerdRage. They're going to be very happy about this. They really needed this. And the rest of Arctic Foxes, they will just be inside here trying to hold lobby, but that's not even going to work. So DD5 is now behind. They're going to be careful not to get market gardenered here. Looks like, yeah, they're going to clean it up just fine.
DD, I think he wanted to go for a preemptive jump onto choke because he thought that's where they were maybe pushing through, but I think he may have mistimed that, or just he didn't really know where they were going from. So Umbrak will have the supercharge. Looking at river right now. Korvac will lead this charge, jumping in. He will get air shot, and he's going to get destroyed by the shotgun. So that's going to hold that, but actually Amrak didn't even use the supercharge, so that they were just trying to sack in a soldier to see what they could do. Korvac, of course, the roamer from nerdRage, wasn't ending up with anything.
See a counter sack here from DD5F. He went for a market gardener in lobby, doesn't manage to hit Medico, and that's just going to mean that both roamers go down. That's pretty standard. You know, send in a roamer, send in another roamer. Pretty standard. Alright, and look at Raptor, almost getting taken down there by Medico. Actually, another soldier bomb, and it's kind of odd timing there. I think that caught Arctic Foxes off guard. Like, the other soldier Korvac hadn't even spawned yet. So,
yeah, but Medico just couldn't hit the rockets, so nerdRage happy to just wait for their spawner. They're holding a big door right now. But I don't think nerdRage... or did I say Arctic Foxes? I think nerdRage, yeah, nerdRage holding on this big door, so Arctic Foxes are just going to stay at last. They have no real reason to push right now, but Marash on spy, well, maybe he'll continue to spy.
Both spies have just spotted each other in spawn. They're just sitting in spawn checking things, and they both spotted each other going spy. So I wonder if that's going to throw them off. Looks like no, Mouse has now checked for sniper.
And so. Blade running the sniper. He's trying to peek through here on this lower area, this lower entrance. He's getting a bit of spam from feeding maybe, but Blade, he's going to have to wait around to try and find an angle.
Yeah, see, he finds a soldier. The sniper has now been spotted. So far, Sniper just took a bunch of damage from the soldier, and that was all he achieved. So there's a sentry gun. I'm not sure if nerdRage actually realized there's a sentry gun, but Blade actually has a pretty good angle here. Looks like he just missed Maris there barely as a Medico takes down the sentry gun. They knew about it, and Now it's just a matter of where will Blade peek from. Looks like he's gonna go through Riverside, spots another soldier, and can he get him? Lost the sniper.
Oh,
Wins the
Blade.
sniper duel.
Gets that nerdRage pick. That might not be enough. I mean.
Oh, and the dispenser pick. Now they have to go.
Oh, big dispenser pick. And
the soldier has gone in.
Korvac trying to get in there, gets actually taken down, feeling a nice air shot there. But DD5F has been caught in River. I think he tried to go for some sort of rocket jump, but it didn't work. And Namtak going down, that's not great. But 3 alive for each team. I mean, a lot of picks just happening right there, Beater, and nothing might come of it. I mean, Adam Rasek trying to take some positioning in lobby, but for the time being, kind of just reset here.
Yeah, there were 3 people down from nerdRage, but there were also 2 down from Arctic Foxes, so it didn't really feel like they could actually push on it, and I would tend to agree. They did have 2 scouts, but it's going to be very difficult because nerdRage can just use their Uber if they need to, and then it's going to be very difficult to actually cap before the spawners come in. So they just decide to back off, and Blade has gone sniper once again. Let's see if he can have more success this time. He did get the sniper last time, so let's see. He has been spotted once again, so no surprises coming out. Like they know exactly what it is, and this is what we've seen before. He throws Tirati onto the medic, actually misses the medic and hits the demo man instead. That's pretty important. I'm not sure if the demo man like jumped into it to deny it, or if that was just an accident.
But he did get killed for his troubles, and I mean nothing really coming of that. 1 pick for each team, and actually getting picked up from by Korvac. So I mean, nerdRage, I suppose 2 picks is pretty good way to start this push. Neo getting in here, taking down that sentry gun Medica with that rockets, but after he didn't use his recharge.
Yeah.
So he actually has a good opportunity here for a good defense. Medica's going underneath the point, and he might be able to draw some heads and make way for his team, but nope. Looks like they're just going to be able to pick these up.
Yeah, DD5F coming in there with the big bomb. Does block it. Ubers have been forced out now. Namtak looks like he's going to be able to escape as well. Adam going down there, that's a pretty big deal.
That's though, getting Namtak, yeah, so they've traded their demoman, and DD5F is on the chase trying to force the soldier out so they can secure second. So Arctic is successfully being able to push out here on second. Play peeking a big door, so Arctic Fox is going to collect themselves, and I mean, pretty much equal lever charges, so we may just see these teams build this and see if they can get any sort of pick. They aren't running any off passes or anything like that, so we could be in for a bit of a stalemate here, Beater.
Yeah, I think we're about to see a bunch of rotating around, where we see one team rotating into big door and then rotating the other way around, sending in a soldier to suicide, maybe somewhere else. It's very interesting. You can push in through big door, basically, and then send in a scout or 2 behind and try to take some 1v1s in lobby. That's definitely one way to try and break the stalemate here. So far, they are playing in big door here. Umbrak is being pretty far forward, and you see Medico just around the corner here, taking a lot of spam, and he's not really in a lot of danger either. So I just want to see at this point, I just want to see one scout run in through the shutter door, but it looks like they have other plans. So
Korvac tried to get onto Raptor there through choke, but he just got completely destroyed by the soldiers. So looks like Feeling might want to take this supercharge and DD5F going drop down, and I think he may have been spotted, and he has taken a lot of damage. Bit of a mistake there from DD5F getting picked up, and Marash as well, and nerdRage. He did actually use that overcharge, and Neo was kind of poking in here into second, and there's a couple of weak players on Arctic Foxes. This could be good here for nerdRage if they want to commit to this, but Namtak's gotten called out actually on balcony, and they did have that overcharge to defend second.
Yeah, now there's 6 on 4. Blade's about to spawn, but it's going to be very difficult for nerdRage. They're going to bomb in a soldier. Korvac getting the big medic pick. That's going to be really crucial here. As Umbrak actually eats a spam rocket there, that could actually be significant, but no, Arctic Foxes have just backed off here. Umbrak with a full Uber advantage, and now it's just a matter of waiting for spawners before they go in. Actually, they're just gonna send in 2 scouts already. Looks like they're just scouting it out, and yeah, they're gonna get second for free. Like it's just a matter of can some soldier bomb them. DD5's on last, so that looks like that's a no. Is Wrapped unvaccinated? Yes, he is.
Arctic Fox is just making the decision to get to last. We see the sentry gun coming up here from Feeling on its right hand side. That's as he said, Umbrak has the supercharged advantage. Gonna see how they have to use this, or how they're gonna use this, I should say. And yeah, Raptor is on that vaccinator, but that's pretty standard for medics nowadays holding this. And this Uber has been used here. Marash doing a decent job, and he's actually tanked a lot of damage from this vaccinator. This is excellent here from Raptor, and he's still alive. I can't believe this, and that's completely denied the Uber beater.
That was brutal. Like, just air blasting everyone back while being vaccinated. And they didn't focus Raptor either, so just a very strong hold. Once again, this vaccinator play just proving so strong, and a really good job by the Pyro there as well. The Red Demo Man was down, so they could have maybe made a play for the point, but they decided not to. It's probably a smart idea. As we see Shocky now playing Sniper, seeing if he can make a new pick, and we see no off classes for nerdRage, so they might just try to send in a soldier, but that's going to be difficult when facing a sentry gun.
Yeah, and Raptor back on the Medigun as well. You're going to see some sort of Uber exchange. We don't have that vaccinator again, so we won't see any cheesy Pyro plays. I mean, I said cheesy, but it was pretty effective, so we don't see Pyro again, but just going to wait for nerdRage to feel out this defense, and they have actually just used the supercharge. Raptor finally popping his on 40 health, and they're going to chase nerdRage back out through the shutter door. Namtak is caught in, he's trying to do something, but he's taking a lot of damage, surely going down, feeding getting that frag, so it's one pick for each team, and looks like nerdRage are kind of on this balcony area. Medico may be caught in here, but he has quite enough health, and actually, never mind.
Time on the point. Now that's going to mean everyone's going to go down there. Blades trying to work on this soldier, but no, it's not going to be quite enough. Things just going to have to get out. Yeah, so that was pretty close, but the end result is that Raptor survived all of that, and he has a slight advantage, not something you can really push out a blast with. And they do have a man advantage as well, but they're all spawners, so again, not really something you can push on. So that's kind of unfortunate, as we see some more arrow building here on Lash. We see Feeling standing in the door. I haven't seen this spot done before. It's not quite optimal range. You want to be as far away from people as possible when you do the arrow build, but that does kind of work, I guess, to some degree.
Yeah, but I have spotted the Neo Sniper. He's moving in here. I suppose nerdRage are going to wait for him to try something, but Feeling doing a good job of making sure these entrances are spammed out, but he has for a moment just left it open, and Neo in that Shocky pick, and that's going to be good here to maybe give him some more space, but obviously both the soldiers and nerdRage going to try and help him here, but as I say, that Medico getting in here, trying to do something, getting cleaned up. Blade as well, taking a peek, but yeah, I suppose they could afford that, but then Neo again getting that pick onto DD, that's really good here. Korvac jumping in, trying to do something, gets a good damage here onto a couple of players, but it won't be enough.
Yeah, Scout jumps in here, gets peed on, and then takes one big meat shot and almost died. So it does survive that though. But once again, Neo with another massive snipe takes down the medic. Wow. See you later, Raptor. Neo just really turning it on here. He's basically been the only one that's consistently been getting kills, and now we see Uber in here onto a vaccinator that's not fully charged. We don't have a single bubble yet. Shocky, oh, that's actually Shocky on medic. That's very interesting. So they're switching the classes around, desperately trying to hold. It looks like that might even have worked. Oh my god, that's crazy. That's really interesting to see them actually just switch up the classes like that. So what do they do now? Do they just go back and switch? Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that was I mean, honestly, I've seen that before. Arctic Foxes have done that a couple of times during the main season. I am entirely clear on the rule about that, but I guess it's allowed. And
yeah, it's allowed.
Yeah, it seems to have worked. And Shocky running in there and getting destroyed by Medico. nerdRage have that pick, and DD5F is just spawning, so they have the room here to get into lobby and try and have another go with this last push.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It's not like teams haven't been pushing, it's just they're really bad at pushing. The Raptor almost goes down. He actually goes down to Korvac. He was arrowing there. Maybe that's why we don't see the arrow building so much. You do kind of expose your medic, and the pocket is not there to help. So that really backfired right there. And now, surely, as we see Shocky already going medic and switching, so they're just abusing this as much as they possibly can. And the Raptor has gone heavy. So not even that big of an Uber advantage, but they do have an Uber against the vaccinator going for them. But man, cheating, right?
No, I think it is allowed. So you know, they only have one medic on the field at any one time. So Amrak will have the supercharge. Looking at bringing this through river, Medico might bring this in, but Blade maybe the main target of the Super, and he's brought this in. They have seen a sentry gun finally, and there's no damage on it yet, and this is doing a pretty good job of denying these nerdRage players. Medico might want to have gone for a little bit of a bomb, but I think they just can't. The sentry gun has just been a pretty good choice here from GD5F.
Yeah, and now they will switch once again, and so this is what I've been talking about, right? So now they switch their medic, now they're gonna probably go Uber, but actually there's a soda bombing by Korvac. I think he's gonna die. Yeah, there we go. But Umbrak will be left with an Uber advantage, and even a soldier on the point here. Medico doing so much damage. He's just desperately trying to get this, and Raptor's trying to arrow this demo man, but okay, finally he does get it, but the sentry was actually away.
How does Neo find that pick? And Blade is just standing on the point. The sentry gun just doesn't have the angle. He's hiding behind the wall, and there's so much time. And this has been such a messy fight. There's so many weak players for Arctic Foxes. nerdRage could do this. They have to deal with the sentry gun though. And DD5F has made the right choice of trying to tank the sentry gun.
Yeah, and Neo once again taking out DD5F, including the sentry gun. He was carrying it. And that's a really big deal as well. And now we have an actual full Uber advantage. Come on, nerdRage, you got this. They failed so many pushes. There's only 3 minutes left of, before the round resets. But here they go. There's a Pyro once again that they have to deal with. Looks like they're going to deal with it pretty well. But he's still not dead. No, actually, Maris gets it, and oh my god, they flopped it once again. Unbelievable. They just cannot get this right.
Neo might be able to get out. He's just been surfing for his life. He's 11 health. He's been able to escape. So, yeah, looks like Arctic Foxes finally can breathe a little as they manage to take back second. And yeah, it's just these last pushes from nerdRage. You know, they're just gonna. They have to convert this. You know, it's 15 minutes, and they haven't been able to. I mean, neither team has been able to make any point. Really, they haven't been able to win a single round. So here we go again. Beater round second. Arctic Foxes, of course, pushing out last, weren't able to get any positioning on mid as is expected. But Neo again. Neo's been doing so well at getting these picks, picking up that scout. Marash and Medico's gone behind into lobby. I'm not sure if DD5F noticed that or not, but he has gone up to this balcony area. He could have a good opportunity to get on to Raptor.
I don't think he was spotted. Now he is, though. He's just going to be spamming, so this is just an extra spam angle to deal with. And this is actually working out pretty well. He catches the soldier off guard there. I don't think that soldier expected him to be there. And now you see a soldier onto the medigun, and doesn't quite get him. Raptor going down to about 50 HP, but does manage to survive that whole ordeal. And now it's actually 2 men up right now, so that's going to create a lot of space. They do have to push into a sniper, but once they get through this choke and don't drop their medic, they're going to be golden. And there we go, Neo down. That's going to be a free med.
Yeah, that's really good there from Arctic Foxes. They knew they had 3 picks. Medico went down there a little later and just powered across the point, picking up Neo on sniper. Going to comfortably take this mid fight, and here they go. They're already in big door. Raptor dropping down into lower in lobby, and they've met the soldier at Korvac, and the Uber has been used, and they might have to come back out here and get this Uber out of Umbrak, and they have finally used that. So this might not be too good here for Arctic Foxes. Feeling getting picked up, but Shockey's just going forward. He's doing so much damage. Namtak is trying to get something onto Raptor. Raptor getting that soul, and he's been so weak. Neo seems like he can do something. He's 80 health and he's in. He hasn't died yet, but Adam Rastic getting a nice pipe there. That was a complete wipe. I think Korvac is a spawner, so we gotta get the second point beater, and Raptor with a nice Uber advantage. Arctic Foxes can taste this last.
Yeah, we've been basically all over the map so far in this round. There's 13 minutes remaining, and like both teams, they definitely keep trying to push. Like they send in suiciders, they do weird pushes, they mix it up. So you can't really blame them on that. It's just so far the vaccinated defense and the class switching has just been too much. As you see, it looks like they're going to go into Riverside here. They have the Uber advantage and they are going to use it. So they get really far in, and they are using the heavy on offense here. They've gotten the heavy so far in. If they can actually just keep this up, they'd be really good. And heavy does get focused down, but now it's just only Namtek and Korvac, and there we go, finally. Heavy on offense, apparently, and an Uber advantage is all it takes.
Yeah, it seemed to work because nerdRage just spent so much time trying to get that heavy down that it had enough. They've bought them enough time to try and play that point. And as well, Raptor I think dropped a bubble or two. He was running Vaccinator. Or was it Raptor? I think it was Umbrak, but yeah, it was Umbrak. So here we go on our second mid beater. What do you see?
Well, Adam Racecar is completely boxed out so far by a very aggressive soldier. He actually tries to come back in, but gets taken down. So once again, nerdRage looking really strong in this mid. They do lose their medic, and Shocky and Raptor are all the way back on last. So Raptor will survive, but it's probably going to be an automatic second push here coming out for nerdRage, and then they can just hold here. So now the question is, will we see a push out? Is a massive Uber advantage, or they have heal advantage? Like, Ombrek's not going to be in a position to actually heal. He still hasn't even managed to get anyone to heal.
Yeah, Raptor's kind of bringing his team forward into lobby.
Oh, Medico hiding in lobby here. He gets spotted out there, and Shocky takes him out. Sorry.
Yeah, well, looks like Korvac is trying to put some spam there, and seems to have been able to get out for now, but Neo and Namtak looking at this big door, but I think, of course they know they don't have this Ubercharge, so feeling at mid right now, and they're waiting for their team here, and nerdRage know the Ubercharge is coming, so gotten all the way here back to their choke, and I think they might just be waiting for Ombrak to get his Ubercharge, and I mean, they seem to just be giving them so much ground here, and they've been able to pick up mid, so feeling a big door, trying to just get a feel for this second defense, and of course nerdRage are holding on this balcony, which is not a bad place to hold here, but they still are coming up on the super. Ombrak finally has his Raptor, didn't make use of that really big Uber advantage, but we'll see them just hold mid for now.
Yeah, like they can just wait another 11 minutes, right? I think they're completely fine with just sitting back here. Like 1-0 with 11 minutes to go, that's not a very big lead, but if you just sit back and wait 5 minutes and do nothing, then all of a sudden it's a pretty big lead. So just the more time that passes, the better their situation is. So let's see if they decide to just be completely passive, or they're actually going into big door here. They might catch some people off guard, feeling actually getting caught, and Uber have been forced here, and Blade getting 2 nice picks here in this Uber exchange, and this is actually looking really bad for Raptor. Can even get out. Looks like he's being quite pressured here, but yeah, it's going to be the demo man that might not even make it out alive.
Shocky called in, sorry I interrupted you there, but I mean, Raptor, I just have to say, Raptor dropped both of his soldiers, and then that was just completely downhill from there, and here we go, nerdRage moving into second.
Indeed, there's a sniper in forward spawn, but he got spotted and spammed out, so he's gone. And Medico's gonna secure top. Actually, Raptor getting a kill on the Blade there. And Feeling doing quite a lot of damage, and Neo going down as well. Now there's no scouts to cap, and all of a sudden this has turned around. It all started with Raptor's arrow kill there. The DD5F will go down, but I still think this is a very strong mid onto middle, a strong push onto middle coming out from Arctic Foxes, and they're gonna get that. Feeling just pushing forward here, shutting down the choke, making sure that no one can get through without taking a ton of damage. Actually, he's going to go for the suicide there, but he bumps into a scout and shoots himself into the skybox and gets pistoled down by Blade. So good defense there of his medic by Blade.
In nerdRage, looks like Ombrak and his pocket have actually come drop down, and they're on floor right now. I don't think there are any other nerdRage players have been able to get in, and I think somehow not Ombrak has stayed alive. They just opened this mid wide open. And Adam Rasek is the first casualty as they take this supercharge, and see Blade going down, so it's a bit of an even fight at the moment, but Shocky is kind of caught out, but no, Blade and Medico actually a lot of damage there, so Shocky and Maris, the scouts for Foxes, are super weak after that fight, but
Ombrak, he's still so weak, and he's being chased by these soldiers, does survive, but he's still being chased by a soldier. Finally, Raptor will actually be the one to get him. That took so long. And now he even saves his soldier with some more arrows. So Raptor going absolutely huge here. Just turning it around. Arctic Foxes, they just seem to keep on outplaying nerdRage in these really vital situations. It's really heartbreaking right now for nerdRage.
Yeah, at the end of that, I think Ombrak he was so weak, he was staying alive for so long, but ultimately wasn't able to escape. And Raptor, we see again, with a really nice super advantage. I think Raptor seems to always end up with just a lot of the time has a good Uber advantage for last, at least on Snakewater that was the case, and you see this Feeling Pyro, and might want to bring this in. I mean, they have the Uber charge up right now. Ombrak 75, I think he still is running, oh no, he's not, he's running that vaccinator, so we'll have to see if it works out like it did.
Feeling's actually on the point, is going to Uber in the Pyro's fire resistance, not going to be enough, apparently, and look at that, just plus forward, and then air blast people off of the point. Now, the Feeling Pyro, it didn't work on Snakewater, but it worked on Gullywash. It makes a lot more sense on Gullywash, I will say. That's a very interesting push.
Yeah,
there's
cool.
something you can break down more.
Yeah, it's cool to see that kind of just odd class choice for pushing into last year in the Pyro, and it worked super well, so I mean, if it works, well, That's fair play, but here we go. At our third mid, 7 minutes left. You see nerdRage making their way as Horback has actually gone onto the flank of Adam Rasek, and he's fallen so weak, but he will be able to escape right now. And there's a lot of damage actually here on these nerdRage players, and they could have got cleaned up pretty easily here. Looks like Neo wanted to get onto DD, nearly got the frag, but will get cleaned up, and Horback behind in choke. Probably going to stay behind, try and maybe cause a distraction or something like that. But it's hard to say if that's what nerdRage need right now. They are 2 rounds down, 7 minutes left, and looks like Arctic Fox is making their way into second. Just doesn't look like there's that many players here to defend this. They might want to walk in here, but looks like they have opted to just hold back for now.
Yeah, once again, they realize the time is on their side, so they're just going to move out. Quarterback actually going down is really unfortunate for nerdRage. And actually, we see a sort of counter-sacking. That's surprising, but he actually gets the force in there. I don't think they were expecting that. I think they were just expecting them to sit back, but no, once again, Umbrak gets forced, and it's just been a pattern so far in these games. We're just constantly getting forced out by DD5F and Feeling and even other players. And that's going to be a massive advantage coming out for Raptor. See, he's hiding behind the rock. And Medico, he's just trying to hit airshot. Like, they feel like they can't even back off properly, right? Because it would just take so much time off of it. But no, they have to. Like, they just can't take this fight.
Yeah, and that G5F force has really opened this up here for Arctic Foxes to bring this into last. It's only a level 1 sentry gun. It will be swapped over, and there's a lot of time on the point here. And Adam Rasek getting a nice pipe there onto Neo, and there weren't any players to defend that, and that's a textbook playing the point beater.
Yep, the scout stood on the point, and then the scout got the point. And the rest of the team made sure to bounce everyone off and do as much damage as they could. So, just a really strong push. Again, I wasn't sure if they were actually going to push it or if they were just going to sit back and take 0 risks, but they decided to push on an Uber advantage, and it paid off for them here. You see Korvac jumping the demo man on a race car really aggressively here, but he does survive. But Feeling will actually go down first, but so far the Blue Soldiers have done quite a lot of work here. Korvac hitting a nice rocket here. Mara's still on the point. He's running around and just winding it up. But I think he's going to have to retreat here. Actually, he's on top of the point now. And, gets slammed by a big rocket from Korvac. And Korvac with another rocket that just denies a scout. And there we go. Korvac with the big medic defense there. Great job by him. And that's going to be a mid. So, yeah, nerdRage, they better get their hurry on here. And they're on a crit streak, actually. And Raptor doesn't have the Uber yet. So if they manage to catch him out, they can drop him, but it looks like Raptor's all the way back on last.
And that was a decent play by the scouts at mid to kind of buy some time for Raptor to get this Uber, and D going for a little bit of a strange strategy, getting that sentry gun in lobby, but Adam Rasek going down somewhere to Korvac. Not sure how that happened, but we see the Pyro defense coming out, Marash running this, and they have
Here comes the
that
crit from Naptak. They see Raptor, but Raptor sees them and it reacts in time, and that's going to be the end of that. Ombrak going down. And I think they just need to retreat back to last here and not chase too hard. They have actually chased a little bit here, and that's going to be a bunch of people down. But fortunately for Arctic Foxes, it looks like there's only 2 alive, and Shock is just going to take people on and choke here.
But Neo is taking the 1v1 with Adam Rasek, and can he get last? They're capping second. Oh, it won't be enough. He nearly had that. He was waiting in water, but he heard the sticky, so he was able to get that kill, but it won't be enough. Neo still behind Arctic Foxes right now in River, causing some distraction.
Neo has had a really good game, just demolishes Feeling, and then turns around and he wants the other scout. He's so weak, that scout. And now the demo is there. Yeah, Shocky eventually wins it, but actually comes in and cleans it up. And DD5 takes down Namtag. So Raptor has gone down during all of that confusion. So Neo's distraction play has definitely worked. So nerdRage, they need to make it in here, but they don't quite have any time on the point. But they have a massive Uber advantage, and this is what they need. They'll do this.
Yeah, it is the crit speeder. We could see some really successful crits here into last, and if they can take this right now, they have 2 minutes 40. It is possible, I think, to get 2 more rounds to tie it up. We could see a golden cap, perhaps. But Umbrak ready to take this crits in. I think he's going to crits in Soldier, but the Pyro, he's going to have to try and get the rocks, but it doesn't seem like it's working.
It's so dangerous. No.
He hasn't got any kills with that. That's so unfortunate. Good Pyro work there on the defense, and that crits play hasn't worked out. That's exactly the opposite of what Umbrak wanted. That's going to be really bad. They have 2 minutes. They're going to have to get this point quickly if they have any chance of getting back into this. And Namtak getting stuffed there. Raptor, though, going down. That's a really big pick. And, I mean, there's a lot of weak players in Arctic Foxes. Can they do it? They have the sentry gun getting set up, but Korvac has the rockets, and oh my goodness, he might be able to get another, but no, he will get cleaned up. It's Medico, and Medico can't do anything. They almost had that beater, but in the end, Adam Rostic and Feeling are the last standing, and there's 2 minutes left. It's maybe garbage time beater.
It just seems like nerdRage are not allowed to get a point here. They haven't capped a single round, a single last point yet. That's really frustrating for them, I'm sure. As we see a second cap coming out of Arctic Foxes, this match is officially over. But I really do feel like we need to watch this just to see if the misery continues for nerdRage, or if they are able to redeem themselves just a little bit to actually get something. They're about to jump in a demo man. It looks like Namtek is looking for it, and they do still have a crit streak advantage here. So where will they go with that? There we go. There comes the demo man. Jumps in aggressively, and there we go. He has died. But here comes the crit streak. Take down TD5F, who's jumping them. But so far, that's about all they've gotten out of it so far. And oh, there we go. Neo once again hitting a nice shot there onto Raptor, taking him down. And this is actually 2 against 2, but one of them is a sniper. That's usually a bad 2 scouts against a scout and a sniper. The Neo needs to hit the huge point blank headshot. He does get Maros down, but
I think 30 seconds left. This is certainly dead time. I think WARHURYEAH might be able to weigh in on some analysis here. War, are you there?
Oh, I'm here.
Hello, welcome. Give us some deets. Give us some analysis on what this game was all about.
Arctic Foxes won this game.
True.
All right, thank you.
And it was very.
So let's move on to the logs. No.
It was yeah, it was the same as Snakewater. I felt like I don't know what happened to nerdRage. They just seemed to be getting completely outplayed throughout the entirety of the game. They just seem to be. It just seems very uncharacteristic of them. The double soldier aggression that they normally do wasn't really paying off. So I guess maybe it's a part of Arctic Foxes just playing, as you were saying earlier, like they have a lot more cohesion, and they just seem to have like everything sussed out. Most of the time, I mean, they never really made any mistakes, to be honest. Like there were so many times where there were just faultless plays throughout the entirety of both maps, I felt.
I think it's worth mentioning nerdRage, getting 5-0'd on their pick, Snakewater. It's certainly tough going into Gullywash, but yeah, I mean, they tried their hardest. It was looking close enough for a while, but I mean, they just kind of ran away with it.
Yeah, there was a few occasions where, especially on last as well, where nerdRage just didn't seem to have any. I wouldn't say like they didn't have any ideas to what they needed to do after the Ubers had popped. So like they exchanged it, and then that was kind of it. There was nothing really else afterwards. There wasn't really any sort of significant point play or anything else. It was just we have gone in, we have traded Ubers, and now kind of thing. It just seemed very awkward. I don't know if I can get a pretty picture up because I have one ready. Gemm, can you confirm that you're ready for my pictures? Excellent. So one of the really nice things that I saw from Arctic Foxes is that when they Ubered in, and specifically the time where they had a heavy on last, you saw like the heavy just sort of sitting on top right, going in from Riverside. Then you had Raptor that was standing behind him as well. So you had pretty much like the massive combo and a huge focus when they're trying to non-Uber push into last. Do have to read them up. Oh Christ! Can you see it? Oh God! Can you see the heavy icons? Okay, let me just make sure this is definitely working. Okay, give me a moment. I've got one that I prepared earlier. Can you see that? Good. I spent ages in that house. That was during the time when nothing was really happening. Anyway, let me go back to what I was actually going to draw. So now that we've confirmed that this is all up and working.
Nice.
So yeah, you had the heavy that was sort of sitting above the stairs when they were pushing into last, with Raptor throwing in behind, and then you had Adam as well that was sort of just tucked on Riverside, and you pretty much had both scouts sitting on the point. The Roma and like both of the solids were just causing mass bamboozlement on all the classes of nerdRage in their entirety. There were just so many times when all they did was just push through the point. And that was something that you kind of needed to see from nerdRage. Like you had all the teams set up, like the main combo all set up in a setting, and then you had everybody else just focusing the point. Anybody that came down to try and contest the point, they just got shot. And it was just a lot, I would say, a lot cleaner. And as I was saying before, there was no ideas from nerdRage as they wanted to push into last. All they did was exchange, and then, as I said, that was it. And it was just incredibly flaccid, to be honest.
Yeah, so, like, what would you suggest that they could probably, like, what would you like to see them do differently? Like, should they focus the point more? Should they rotate out? Should they try to focus the flank? Or, like, what would you...
Anything. So I think the things that you're listing there is they just need to do one of those. And it seemed like that was one of the real problems with their pushes. As I mentioned, Arctic Foxes, when they pushed in and they had an advantage or a disadvantage, even when they had a full Uber advantage on nerdRage, they still weren't able to do anything because they just seemed to completely fluff it up. And it's just kind of like you just need to actually have a focus section. Like if you go in and you trade and you go out, then brilliant, that's fine. Then you'll just work on what you've just done. If you're going to go in with the small Uber advantage that you've gained, or you're going to try and send your soldiers in to recycle. But the problem is that when they eventually did go in, as I said, they just go in, they Uber, and that's all. All they would need is just like you Uber a Solly and a scout in, you send the scout in towards to kill the demo man if he's there, and then you start playing the point and you work around that. And that's what I was showing in the example of Arctic Foxes, where they sort of did go in exchange, but they exchanged with a heavy who's going to be the focus point when the Ubers run out, on which you've got a demo to back him up, and then you've got your scouts on the point that are going to stop any aggression coming in from any nerdRage players wanting to try and defend the point. It all seems like it's just a lot more thought out, and they have like an actual idea as to what to do. And that's the problem, because they spent like 15 minutes on Arctic Fox's last, and then he got pushed all the way back to theirs. So it seems like, you know, ultimately they just, I mean, I guess a good way of a good thing that didn't help was the medic swapping, which I don't agree with, and I'm pretty sure that did used to be banned. But if it's not in the rules, I guess that's fine. But that, I guess, would have thrown them off, because when you drop a med or you kill him when you just like exchanged, and then you go back and you find out, oh no, the med's there, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, it feels like it's against the spirit of the game, but it's definitely allowed. So
Ban it.
Yeah, maybe, or just ban the vaccinator. It's probably the easier way of going out.
Vaccinate as well, and that'd be good. But didn't they? It was Arctic Foxes that did the vax push, didn't they? With a pyro, and that was something again that was really good. They have a strat and they have an idea for when they're going up against something. They know they're going to be up against a vaccinator. They just have one of their players that died swap onto pyro. Then that's it. The medic has then got a third damage source to protect themselves against. So it's going to make like everything a little bit more awkward, and it worked. So they were thinking outside of the box, and were thinking and had objectives to do things, whereas nerdRage just had none of that. I kind of feel like maybe the maps didn't help so much. I feel like nerdRage are really good on maps like Badlands and Process, where it's kind of more wide open for their soldiers to really be dominant, because Corback and Medico are really, really good and synchronized soldier duo. And I kind of feel like Snakewater doesn't really allow for that as much, if anything, outside of middles.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point. Definitely seemed like they were unable to be their usual selves, where they would just soak up all the attention. It actually seemed like Feeling and DD5F were having more success doing basically the same thing.
I think they had a really good sort of synergy on like the whole team coming up with a distraction, but this is sort of referring mainly more to Snakewater. But there were loads of times when some of these forces shouldn't have really been possible. There were a lot of gaps in the way that nerdRage were holding various areas on second and stuff, where it's like, well, how is he even allowed to get in that deep and get the force off? And on the other side, when you saw somebody from nerdRage kind of do it, it always seemed to have been sort of dealt with a lot quicker. So it just seemed like completely that the nerdRage that was playing is just not, the same nerdRage. It just seemed completely just not on it today.
Yeah, like you can just really see. We saw Gemm highlight the zero caps on a lot of players, but the zero last caps is probably the most important stat here. Like they didn't get a single round through 2 maps in a playoff series against a team that most of us expected that they were better than. So like that seems like there's something went completely wrong. Blade actually had a pretty decent map as well as Neo, so the scouts definitely rebounded here while Namtek suffered greatly. He went 7 for 19.
And Neo on Gullywash just seemed to be getting so many picks as sniper. I don't think it seemed to have a huge effect on the game.
And which is unfortunate because he dropped Raptor, I believe, or at least got the pick on him as well. But yeah, I feel as you were pointing out, Namtak, I mean, he's got a lowly 194 DPM, which is not a high number. You want to sort of hit, I mean, my average is 420, so it's like how he's able to sort of have that little much. I know the game was stalemating in sections, but he's still on a high impact class where he should be able to, just throw out some spam. I mean, Adam, he's got like a decent set of like 70 DPM up on him, and it was still the same slow game that he was playing, so it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's just one of those games, it seems, for Namtek. It's really unfortunate, especially considering that I'd say that Namtek actually has more experience, so you'd think he'd play better. And Gullywash is a pretty good map for demo man in general. You will often see very dominant performances from it coming out from a demo man on Gullywash, but not in this game, that's for sure. It's just really uncharacteristically poor play overall from nerdRage. It just seems like in every team fight too, like they would almost always lose that. Like have someone jump behind and then get dropped from the Uber, and then they'd be one down, and then they just slowly kind of die and fizzle out.
Yeah, definitely. I really agree with that. They haven't said that though. Credit to Arctic Foxes, because I believe like the last time that I casted them against each other, their pushes and coordination in some of these sections were really poor, where they were just kind of sending him feeling alone all the time and playing kind of like very solo, whereas now on these 2 maps it was just literally every single player had like a role and knew what their sort of purpose was within the team. So it's a really good turnaround. So, and I mean, doing this well against the second seeded team, it's going to be looking pretty good for them as well.
Yeah, I among many other people were expecting nerdRage to take this pretty comfortably, but that wasn't the case, and we are actually joined now by DD5F. We have Mirage and we have Raptor in the Mumble, as well as Umbrax. So first of all, congratulations to all of the Arctic Foxes guys in here. That was a very crushing game overall. So Raptor, well, what was it today? Like, why were you able to win so comfortably?
Hello. I don't know. I think everything just went smooth for us. Like the comms were great. Everyone from us played really well. The aim was on point. And obviously Marosh, like not to like shit talk Psychus, but obviously he's a upgrade from Psychus. And I think what our problem was that Shocky and Didi didn't communicate that much on our flank, and Marosh is talking like way more on flank, and that helps us a lot.
Yeah, blame Shocky.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. And obviously, whenever there's a winner, there's a loser. And today, it was especially crushing. So I'm sorry, Ombrek. It's always good to see you in here, but that must have been a rough game for you guys.
Yes, the scoreline said it. I don't know. It's like take what Raptor said. Just reverse it, and you have the game we had tonight. I think our communication was very poor, very messy. We didn't have good aim tonight. I don't know. I like props to Arctic Foxes because I think they came to this game way more prepared than we were, and I wasn't expecting to lose that badly. I wasn't expecting to win like easily. I was expecting it to go through 3 maps probably, but losing in that fashion, yeah, kind of feels bad, man.
Yeah, you had a lot of pushes onto last that you just didn't seem to be able to break. Like, what was your feeling for the 8th time trying to push in there? Like, how did you try to mix it up as you were trying to deal with the vaccinator?
I don't know. We just tried to take advantages of the small edges we had. Like sometimes Neo got picks on sniper, but like it's magic when Raptors die. There's another medic on Artifoxes, and maybe I'm just salty, but I don't think that should be allowed.
Yeah, like I don't know. There was already abused like so far back when Ips did it, and there was no rule added against it. So, like it's playoffs, and you want to abuse everything what is allowed. But
yeah, but I'm not saying we would have won if it didn't happen, but I think that this shouldn't happen again because it's not fair at all. When your magic dies, you just play with it, and I've noticed Chucky do that with all the classes, and it has so much impact when you do it on med because he went on medic with vaccinator, he had bubbles, and like even if we maybe we wouldn't have won the map, but we would have got this run for sure. And yeah, it's kind of a bummer, but overall I think the defenses were really solid. They played well with, I think like Shocky is the real flex, like not Mookie, just Shocky. And like that pyro push was like retarded, but it worked. I think he just hold mouse one and it worked.
Yeah, but it's not retarded. It's genius.
That's the plan. Like you have to use
when it works, it's not retarded. It's genius. But I don't know. We beefed a lot, and I think there's a lot to learn from this game because obviously we're gonna play them again. I think, and we'll take the next one.
And I mean, after losing 5-0 on Snakewater, which was your pick, Umbrak, I mean, how did you guys feel going into Gullywash? Were you really dejected, or did you just try to focus on Gullywash, or did it affect you at all?
Like we don't care about losing our map or losing their map, or like the only thing about we lost a map, no matter if it's our pick or like we don't have good maps and bad maps, so it doesn't really matter. So we just try to shake things up a bit. I think it showed on Gullywash because we were way better, and we just beefed our last. I think they pushed our last 3 times, they kept it 3 times, and we pushed their last like 15 times, and we had 0 points in the end. So obviously there were wrong things on our side, but I wouldn't say losing our map was such a big deal.
Yeah, and on Gullywash, I noticed you had Neo on sniper a little bit, and he seemed to be doing pretty well. He was able to consistently get a lot of picks, but I mean, it didn't seem to impact the game for you guys. I mean, how do you normally play around the Neo sniper?
We usually don't because it doesn't play snipe. Maybe that's why we we beefed. But I don't know. Again, there were a lot of miscommunications tonight, and so maybe we had picks and we didn't realize how important they were. Like sometimes Raptor died and we didn't realize it was the mate who died. So I don't know. We had a really bad night, and hopefully we can bounce back.
All right, that's good to hear. So, so what was I don't know, like. So you had a very strong showing here today from Arctic Foxes. Are you guys feeling like you're gonna ride this momentum and just run right into 7 and just demolish those guys as well? Like, what's your take on it?
I doubt that this is gonna be like, I don't know. This game wasn't easy, but it's gonna be for sure tough against 7. Like at the end, they're still like together for how long now, and they're all top players and have played on international lands. So like, in comparison to us, we're a new team with a lot of players who haven't even played Prem for once. So I think it's going to be very tough.
Yeah, surely they have a weakness, right? Like, what's their weakness, do you think?
It's when you don't play their game, you just play messy, because they like to play their structured or stalemate game. So if you don't play their game, they don't they play worse, let's say it like that.
Raptor, don't give your strats away.
But yeah, we want to make it.
We are taking the 50-50 fights, you know. So that's the thing with with 7.
We want to make it a fun game to watch and interesting and exciting game, and we'll try our best for that.
All right. We of course saw Maris Merc, and you've been working quite a bit for him for Arctic Foxes, right? Like you've been playing a couple of matches too, right?
Yeah. Well, only one match, but a couple of scrims as well.
All right. How is it to play for this team?
I would say it's amazing. Like I hadn't had better team ever. It's really good. The atmosphere is amazing, and I feel really good in this team. And the best thing is that this team is not at its peak at all. It has been together for only one season, and I feel like every one of us can improve a lot. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's cool. So what is Sikas's situation? Did his computer blow up? Did he throw it in a river? What happened?
His PC is completely broken. So he can't play. I don't think he has the money to replace it. I'm not sure. So we searched for a new scout and found a new scout. And after so many performances, I think we like to keep the scout we play with currently, even when Psychos returns.
All right. Yeah, we saw you pull out quite a few special tactics and weird strategies. Was that just the tip of the iceberg? Do you have more stuff planned for 7?
Can't tell you. You will have to see.
You don't have to tell me what it is. You have to tell me if there is something to look forward to.
There is.
Okay.
Yeah, we are very keen on beating them.
And on Rack, of course, you guys are now in the lower bracket. You're going to face Lopander. Yeah. How do you feel playing against these guys? Are you confident?
I don't really look forward to play versus Mookie any Sentry.
Please don't lose.
So I guess we will have to work about that. And I don't know, we beat them in the regular season, goofing around a bit, but this time it's going to be different. These are playoffs. I think they're going to have Mookie back. I don't know, they had a strong showing on Granary versus 7. I think no one expected them to play that way. I was going to say that well, but I don't know if that applies that way. And I don't know, this game is going to be so weird, I think. We don't really know what to expect unless, besides weird of classes from Mookie. But I don't know. I think we have the abilities to bounce back. We should realize that it's not the regular season anymore. It's the playoffs. We have to step up. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We won't have Neo playing with us because he's going on holidays for 1 week. So we have to find a Merc for us. So there's going to be that, and then find out on what point we were bad today and work on them, and yeah, again, hopefully come back later on the next round and hopefully grand finals, but we'll see.
All right, great. And I just want to mention DD. I love that you're still running the Market Gardener. It's great to see. I think on Snakewater, did you get a bunny hop?
I think it was. I got juggled or something. I think I have no idea actually. I'm gonna look at it later.
I think you got juggled by Kobak.
Yeah.
And then hit me for some reason. And that's why we lost. I got tilted and then we said, fuck it.
That's the whole reason.
I literally landed so far away from you and it was like, I'm dead. And then suddenly I just come flying towards you.
Yeah, that was, what the fuck, retarded.
Yeah, that was retarded.
Yeah, it was good stuff. I don't know, Peter, if you have any questions, final questions?
I think we have a lot of players here, so let's just get some shout-outs going. We'll just go down the list, starting with Didi.
Shout out to my sister, shout out to everyone basically, and shout out to twitch.tv/raptor00x.
All right,
Nice.
and Marish.
Well, shout out to my friends and everyone who helped me get into this team, I guess, and get into Prem.
All right, Amrak.
Shout out to my team. Kidnap guys, we have to win the next one. Shout out to everyone on TFTV for watching and the producer stuff. Shout out to admin, please address my request. No medic switch again. And shout out for you guys for casting this.
And Raptor.
Shout out to twitch.tv/dd5f. Shout out to Psychus. Shout out to you guys for casting. Shout out to ETF2L for still not banning the medic switch. Please ban it now. Yeah, that's all.
All right, great. WARHURYEAH, you still here? Want to say anything?
Yeah, good game, well played.
All right, Peter.
Yep, short and sweet. So yeah, thanks for the good game. Thank you, War, for the nice house drawing and some good analysis as well.
Thanks, man.
And I'd like to point your attention to the ETF2L Season 26 demo call. I'm basically done. I'm like wrapping up the movie at this point. So if you want your frags in the movie, you better hurry.
Can I add you later? I have all the demos.
Yeah, you can do that.
10 market garners.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think you need to make a separate movie for DD and his market gardener.
I'll just cram it in the end. It'll be fine. So that's coming up. So that's going to be cool. And of course, there's going to be more playoff action going on. It's going to be Seven versus Arctic Foxes, and nerdRage versus Low Panda. You don't want to miss those. Going to be great games.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I just want to say shout out to Peter. Thanks for casting War for some excellent TF2 knowledge, and thanks to these teams for playing, and thanks for coming in for the interviews. It's always good to get the players in here. Thanks to Gemm as well for doing the production. Shout out to Exodus, Demon Blade, and Raxo as well, and to our Twitch viewers. But yeah, be sure to check us out on teamfortress.tv and follow us on Twitch.
I have a last shout out. I forgot. I have to shout out to our sponsor, nerdRage.
Absolutely, nerdRage. Recent pickup, recent sponsor. But yeah, check us out on YouTube as well. We have our VODs there. But yeah, that's gonna be it from all of us here at Team Fortress TV. Thank you for watching, and good night.